Hey everybody, welcome to my November wrap-up. So for the month of November, if you guys watched the TBR, my November TBR, I said that I'd be surprised if I read more than 3 books. I read 8. And then I am, right now, it's still November, I am right now still reading 3 more books, so I'm hoping to get 10 books done, and possibly one more, so hopefully 11, but for sure 10 books, like 2 other books and then 1 book. The other book I want to finish, the 11th book, is a library book, so I do need to finish that quickly, but we'll see if I can actually get to it before December, because it's coming quickly. Anyway, so if you guys watched my TBR, you guys know that I had a very busy November. I still have one more wedding, and it's my last wedding of the year. Yay! five weddings this year. It was a lot. Anyway, without further ado, I will go through the 8 books that I read for sure in the month of November. So starting with book number 1, I don't have a physical copy of it because I borrowed it from my library, and that was Cinder and Glass. I gave that 5 stars. So that is a Cinderella retelling, and it's a teen book, and I absolutely loved it. It was very predictable. I knew what was gonna happen. It's a retelling of Cinderella. But I absolutely loved it, and I thought it was super, super cute, and I actually found myself just like giggling at certain points, and just absolutely just smiling and having a good time with the book. It was a good buffer. It was a really good buffer. And I recommend it, really. It was so cute. But yeah, Cinder and Glass. The next book I'm going to mention, I gave this book 1 star, and that is Angels in Pink, Holly story. There's a death in this story that I felt wasn't really needed. I wanted to go this book in a different direction, and it went in a totally different direction. Yeah, I don't recommend this. I took these books out in elementary school. If I actually read these when I was in elementary school, it would have been bad. But yeah, so I didn't enjoy this trilogy. I really didn't. I'm glad I finally read them after so many years. But yeah, 1 star. Not a good trilogy. I didn't like it at all. The second book I am going to talk about it's the second book to Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and this is called Tales of the Café. I gave Tales of the Café, I gave it 5 stars. Sorry, have it all written down here. But I gave it 5 stars, and these books are just truly just great to listen to. It is sad at certain points, but unlike this one where I felt like it was an unnecessary death, these are just like people who have lost their wives, and they were in their late 70s, early 80s, or they had cancer, so they got taken from them because of cancer, or their sister or their brother, whoever, their children. And this was the second one of the series, and it was really, really good. I do suggest people read these, but read them in order. The third book I'm going to talk about is Menu of Happiness. This is the 3rd book to the series. I'm not going to try to say the second word because I'm going to butcher it. I absolutely love it. I gave this book 5 stars. This book does make me hungry, though. With all the food that they talk about, I do get hungry, so I suggest maybe eating while you read this. Maybe even eating some Korean rice. Maybe actually reading Kaki Soba. I hope I said that right. But really good book. It's super sweet. Next book is the book that my daughter picked for me, and that is Indians on Vacation. I unfortunately gave this 2 stars. I wanted to love it, but as I was listening to the audiobook, I had no idea what was going on. I felt very confused. Um, I would like to maybe give this a second try and actually read it instead of listening to it. I think the audiobook just made me a little bit confused. Um, so I'm going to try to actually read it because I really do want to love this book. And if I read it and I am still not liking it, then yeah. But as of right now, it is a 2-star read. I can't even say what happened because I honestly don't know. I was very confused while listening. And usually I do follow along, but I did finish this book before going to Dominican. So I was busy packing and getting the house ready. So I think maybe that is another reason why, but usually when I'm doing something and listening to an audiobook, I'm really focused, like to the audiobooks. But I don't know. So yeah, as of right now, it's a 2-star read, which really sucks because I've really wanted to love this book. Next book is, I was gonna wait for December to read this book, but I gave it 4 stars. I absolutely loved it, and that is Bits and Pieces by Whoopi Goldberg. So I always loved Whoopi. She was amazing. Like I've seen her movies, but what made me really, really love her is when I was on mat leave, I would watch The View. Because that was one of the things that was on, and with a newborn, all she did was sleep, eat, and poop. So I had nothing else to do but scroll on my phone and watch TV. And scrolling on my phone could be dangerous. So I watched a lot of TV. There was Corner Gas I watched all the time. There was the morning show that I watched all the time. And The View. And I absolutely loved Whoopi. I always have. But this was the book about her life with her mother and brother who have passed away, and it was amazing just hearing about her life with them. She was very close with her mom and her brother, and that's like me. I am very close with my mom and, well, all my siblings, but it was great to see. I love Whoopi. I love her so much. I do recommend this to anyone who does like Whoopi. And she talks about her daughter. She talks about her granddaughter. She talks about her. She talks about her husbands too. I think only the first one, but briefly, not a lot. It's mainly about her brother and her mother. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I love this book. 4 stars. 4 stars. Oh, and there is pictures in this book, just to let you know. I didn't know that there was, because they're just like paper. So make sure you look at the photos. I had no idea there was photos in here. So the next book is a book that was on my November, like I might read it. It was part of the books that my daughter was supposed to pick, and that is The Wager. So I gave The Wager 2 stars. This is, I don't know why I didn't realize that it was a nonfiction book. So it's a history nonfiction book, and I didn't realize it was real. I say I love history, and yet I don't know much about it. I pick certain things in history that I obsess over, like Anne Frank, Henry. Oh God, I forget about. But like his 6 wives is what I mainly obsess over, and just like certain things like that. So this I didn't know about, but this was giving me, as I was listening to the audiobook, this was giving me Moby Dick vibes. And I think maybe because just boat sailors. I mean, it has nothing to do with the whale. It has nothing to do with that, and this is actually real. But just because I had such a horrible experience with Moby Dick, and then this was about ship and people going out to sea, I was like, are they gonna go find a whale and then have a whole chapter about whale meat? Like, so I didn't really enjoy it because I was just having flashbacks of that book. But if you like stories about like nonfiction, of course. It's about these people who went out to sea, and they get washed up on the coast of Brazil, and just like these people were hailed as heroes, but then like more people come from the shipwreck, and they're like, no, they weren't heroes, they were like butt faces and left us, and they killed some people, and they ate, and they completely like said, no, they're not heroes, they're horrible people. And it was this huge thing when they came back all to Great Britain. And yeah, it's a good book though, and it's really cool. I'm obsessed with maps, and in the wager there was maps. So at the beginning it's like the route of the wager, like the route it took, and then the passage around Cape Horn, and then the location of the shipwreck. And then at the back of the book, it shows you the maps of, so the first castaway party escape route and the second castaway party escape route. So it shows you like how they escaped, and from the islands that they were trapped on, and like from the shipwreck. It was really cool to look at the maps and stuff like that. But yeah, I just wish I enjoyed it more. But yeah, it wasn't that bad, but I did give it 2 stars. Yeah. So the last book that I read that I'm going to talk about, it was another one of those book that was laid out for my daughter to pick from, and that is the Little Village of Book Lovers, and I gave that 2 stars. So I didn't realize that this is a 1.5 book on like it's a side story. So the first book is the Little Paris Bookshop, and this is the story between, it's like a side story between the first and second book. I didn't realize that, so I was a little confused. And again, I was listening to it on audiobook, and I like Indians on Vacation, I have no idea what I was listening to. That might be because it was a side story. But yeah, and I was back from Dominican already unpacked. It was just my week off. I took a week after Dominican off because I didn't really want to go back to work after coming back from tropical place. So but yeah, I gave it 2 stars because I can't really see what it's about because I don't know. There was a lot of books that I feel like I listened to and I was like, what is happening? Well, there's only 3 books that happened. But yeah, so maybe read the first book and then this book, and then you'll get what happens. I honestly think I just grabbed it because it said Book Lovers, like the Little Village of Book. Like I fell in love with the title basically. And you should never really buy a book just because of the title and cover. Though we do. We really shouldn't. So now the 3 books that I'm currently on, that I'm hoping to finish. So there's 2 I'm actually reading right now and 1 that I'm not. So the 2 books I'm actually reading and that I am definitely going to finish, I don't have the cover. So one of the books I'm reading is Before Your Memory Fades, which is the 3rd book to Before the Coffee Gets Cold series. I am on the 3rd chapter. There is 4 chapters each. And the first chapter is called, I believe, The Mother. No, not The Mother. It's called The Daughter. The Comedian, The Sister, The Young Man. So I'm on The Sister, and they're really good. They deal with like a lot of things that happen in people's lives, and they're like, I want to go back in the past, and it's like, well, you gotta remember, you can't change anything. Like everything will still be the same. You can't get up from your seat, so you can't call anyone or go see anyone. You can't and you can't let the coffee get cold. You gotta drink it all before it gets cold, because then you become a ghost. But yeah, this is the third book to it. I'm hoping to finish the rest of the series in January, and there is a new book coming out next year in, I want to say, May. So yeah, I'm excited for that. The next book I'm going to talk about is the book club book of the month, and that is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I am on chapter 41. I will definitely be finishing this book. I'm hoping to finish it by Monday. It is Thursday right now, so I'm hoping to finish it by Monday, or even Wednesday, sometime next week. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. I thought Evelyn Hugo, so I know that this is fiction. It's not real. But when I was reading it, and I was reading about Evelyn Hugo, I was like, I should look up her movies and her career and all this stuff. I'm like, wait, she's not real. I thought she, like, while I was reading it, I was like, no, she's a real person, but she's not. So yeah, so she's not a real person, so I can't look up her career, but it's really good. I am on Henry's, so each part is like, it's like separated by like her husbands. So I'm on Henry's part, and Henry so far is my favorite husband. But yeah, I'm really liking it. I'm probably gonna give this a 4-star, a 4-star rate, but we'll see when I get to the end. So the last book I'm going to talk about, I have not started it yet. It is from my library, and it is due, I believe, the day after my daughter's birthday. No, a couple days before. It is due the 8th of December, so I am hoping to finish it before then, but I don't know if I'll actually be able to, because my December is quite busy, but I'll tell you about that in the December TBR. First week of December, every single day there is something that I need to, that I have either with work or with my family. So, and by family I do mean Trisha and Danielle. So yeah. Anyway, so the last book that I'm hoping to read, and I might get to, it is called Snow and Poison. This is in the same like universe of Cinder and Glass. It's Snow White retelling. Bit of a glare, but yeah. But this is my library book, and I am hoping to read it before November is over. But yeah, I don't really know what it's about. All I know is that when I asked the librarian if there was a second book to the Cinder and Glass book, she said that there was. But I don't think you need to read them together, because this is about a totally different princess, totally different place. I believe so. But yeah, so, and they had to order this for me from a different library, because though they had Cinder and Glass, they didn't have this one. So they actually got it from the Grimsby library. So that's like a 20-minute drive, 30-minute drive down the highway. So yeah, I can't wait to get to it, but like I said, I haven't started reading it. Don't know what it's about, but I'm hoping. Anyway, so those are the 8 books that I have read, and then the 3 books that I'm hoping to finish before November is done. Let us know what type of books you read and what you enjoyed, what you didn't enjoy. If you have read any of these books, I've got a pile here and pile here. If you read any of these books, and if you liked them, and if you're like, no, Ashley, you need to really just reread those books and actually focus on them, because sometimes my mind wanders, and that's why I ramble quite a bit. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye!